Hey, welcome back everybody. I'm Mike Green, and today we're going to be talking about repairing old varnish. Whether you got a runabout or a cruiser and the varnish is looking dull and old, this is a great way to repair that varnish. This method that we use here at the shop a lot. The boat that we're working on is a 1942 23-foot Chris Craft barrelback, triple cockpit, one of 26 ever built. And what happened to that boat is that it just sits in the sun on the lift sometimes and is used quite often. Matter of fact, the first year the gentleman bought the boat, he was in 11 different lakes and traveled all over the place. So a good friend of mine, John Freeman, said to me one time that nothing dries out your varnish and dries out a wooden boat than traveling down the road at about 70 miles an hour. This boat has traveled all over the place and he uses it a lot, takes it to a lot of the ACBS shows. And the varnish has gotten pretty dry. So it also has done some crazing and cracking underneath the layers. This is a great way to fix that and then bring it back to a nice luster shine. So you can see that the varnish has lost its luster. It's kind of opaque and you can see these little scratches all over it. Also these water drop lines, and it's just really lost all of its shine and its luster. So what we want to do is varnish over that. Before we want to do it, we want to break open that layer, that top layer. So we're going to use wood sealer, clear penetrating sealer, and then the 1015 Captain's Varnish. Right out of the can, this stuff flows really nice. And then the brushing thinner. You want to make sure that you use the same brushing thinner as your products. So if you're using Petit Varnish, the slicker rollers, they're really nice. And then a tray, a good tray with ripples in it, and we use the 3-inch rollers with the 3 and cut the rollers down. Also the Woosley brushes, these are really good brushes for using with foam. Then we use the Mirka sanding system. The piece of sandpaper is almost like a screen and hooked to a vacuum. It's really good sucking up the dust, and it also doesn't load up the paper. Notice that he's going in one direction. He's then going to go across one way, and then he'll cross the other way. And what this does is help keep the surface flat. If you were to just go one direction, back and forth, what would happen up into the bow and then to the stern of the boat, it would only hit on the edges. So you want to make sure that you turn that sander properly so you can hit the surface flat. We took off the name in the back because that was damaged also by the sun. This is after we sanded and then we Scotch-Brighted it. You want to make sure you Scotch-Brite over the sanding, just because you want to get all those shiny spots and make sure the varnish or the sealer sticks really well. So this is the sandpaper that we use, the Mirka. We use 320 usually, almost always on varnish, and you can see that it's like a screen. Oh yeah, I wanted to let you know that this is an affiliated video. So if there's some products that you need to get your job done, they are listed below, and you can purchase them there. You can see that he's applying that penetrating sealer in the crisscross method. If you want to check that out, we made a video a couple months ago that shows you how to apply varnish properly and evenly using that method. He's going to really work that sealer in. It's one of the reasons why we sand prior to that first coat of sealer. We want to make sure that that sealer does what it's supposed to do, and that is penetrate into that varnish. So he's working it in extra. He'll reload his roller and then apply it on the top there. Once again, working that really good, using that crisscross method, and then working that varnish or sealer in really good. If you're going to use varnish and you don't want to use the penetrating sealer, you're going to have to thin that varnish down quite a bit. So now he's going to tip that varnish. We roll and tip everything generally, and we pretty much use the same method. You can check out that method, like I said, in the applying varnish in the crisscross method. If you look really closely, he's turning the brush. He does it so quick. Wait for it, it's right here. he turns that brush about every second coat, and that helps from keeping the brush loaded up. You don't want the brush to load up, and you want to keep as much varnish on the boat or sealer on the boat as you can. So just really light tip method, and then flip your brush every couple strokes. It'll help. Also, you just want to make sure you don't leave any holidays, any spots where it haven't been touched. This is after one coat of penetrating sealer and then one coat of varnish. And already you can see the luster and some of the seams have gone away. Also, that transom looks a lot better. A couple more coats, we'll sand it, and it'll be ready for its new name. This is after another coat of varnish. So we've got one coat of sealer, 2 coats of varnish on it, and now we'll sand it, and then we'll put 2 final coats on it. So thanks for showing up. That's how you get it done. Hopefully your boat will come out real nice and shiny and be protected. You should probably think about recoating your boat about every 3 to 5 years, depending on how much you use it. That's usually what we tell customers here. That keeps it looking really good, and also getting too far gone before you might have to strip that varnish off, and you don't want to do that. That's just a lot of extra work. So, hey, if you like what you see, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and then that bell. If you want to click that bell, you could get notified when we have new videos. We're trying to do new videos about every week, which turns into about 10 days with editing. So we'll meet you right back here. Thanks. Bye.